Guess who's been featured on the breakdown a crapload recently?
Ola Shemian?
Ola Shemian has been featured on the breakdown a crapload recently, and he is one of the featured players in the first hand of You Comment, We Respond.
Can you say crapload?
Crapload.
You can.
I'm going to crapload.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's called Elite Heads Up Battle. We encourage you to watch it. Come on back if you haven't seen it already, of course. Here's what you guys had to say about it. Here's our favorite comments from you anyway. Arya Offshore M says...
Frequent commenter.
Yes. Here's what I don't get. If Cannett's turn bet double barrel is good, why is the river bet bad? Because the board paired? He still should be value raising all his value at least in a heads up situation, right? Also, what should Cannett do? Just give up on the river?
Did we say it was bad?
I think we thought it wasn't great because the 3 paired and it was so much better for Ole, and we thought it maybe polarized Cannett more than it had to be.
I think it was a minor point that we made. Maybe I don't know if we generally thought the bet was bad entirely, but yeah. I think the main point being that 3 should hit Ola more often than it hits Cannett.
For sure.
Right? So I think probably Cannett has to go for it with 10 high here. If he's going to have a triple barreling range, this should certainly be part of it.
Agreed.
Makes tons of sense. I don't really think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad either. I do think, though, it's going to get picked off a bit more the time when the 3 pairs.
Yes, that's fair. It's just an unlucky card for Cannett. I don't think it makes the bluff bad. Giving up with 10 high is not really fun.
I mean, when Ola calls, Cannett says, do you have a 6?
Yeah.
Which is just, bottom pair, essentially, because now 3s are trips. And that's what he thinks he's getting called by when Ola. So he's trying to move him off some part of that range. Okay, next up, Some Bloke says,
cool name.
Because Cannett barrels with air so often, he also goes for thinner value than most players in order to balance this, meaning that he for sure has Queen Jack plus and overpairs in his value range on the river. From a GTO perspective, Shemian's exact hand is not a good one to call down with because it blocks a portion of Cannett's bluffs that he would double barrel the turn with, hearts and 5x. I like this comment.
Those are all really good points.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, you say with quite a bit of rigidity that Cannett is always betting Queen Jack plus here. I don't know if we can know that for sure.
Me either.
But our point in the video was that if he is, then Shemian should fold.
Right.
And I think that's maybe more important than Shemian's hand, although those are cool points.
Yeah, so actually if you put this together, if it's true that Cannett is really betting Queen or Jack, Queen Jack or better, and also Shemian has sort of a bad calling hand because he blocks some things that in theory anyway Cannett's bluffing with, that makes this call seem to be pretty bad.
Right.
It's interesting.
Still, the crux of the problem is, does Cannett actually bet Queen Jack, King Jack, Ace Jack, and overpairs?
Jack 10. Yeah.
All of these are really important questions, and I know you say this very definitively, but we can't know for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, finally, Michael Sego says, WTF, I tweeted this at you guys months ago and posted on the comments on YouTube too. Like I said, I did the Twitter at you as well. Therefore, I feel I deserve at least a shout out, at least on the You Comment, We Respond video.
You got it, Michael. We're really sorry.
We messed up. It happens.
Stuff gets lost in the Twitter sometimes. We're not optimal Twitter users.
I mean, we suck.
We're not very good at that stuff.
Yeah.
We're the analyzing the hands guys. We're not the using the Twitter guys.
But we try, and at least we can make it up to you like this.
Yeah, so here you go, Michael.
Also, watch your mail. There's going to be a cake in the mail.
There's not.
There's going to be a cake in the mail,
Michael. There's not going to be
Michael.
any cake.
All right. Next we have, what in the world should Tom Dwan do?
What should he do?
Well, he should call, I guess. Or he should fold. That was the crux of the question.
He has to fold.
He should make a decision.
You should watch the video and find out what you think he should do.
Otherwise...
So click up there.
Yeah. Here's what you guys had to say, though. Mr. Shikasta says, I don't think the flop check by Zygmunt is that strange four-handed. Seems like sensible pot control considering the wet flop and specific 3 people he's playing against.
Right. In our podcast, I did have a bit of a similar thing that I said, in fact, that these guys are the type of guys who are going to semi-bluff with even gut shots here, and it puts you in a hero spot already when you bet the flop if that does happen, especially against these 3 guys. These guys are crazy. So that's important. Still, it is abnormal to check the flop with top pair here because it's a wet board and you don't want to give free cards.
I mean, we flop pretty good for our hand. I know we'd like to flop a lot better. We like to flop straight draws, flush draws, 2 pair, and so on. But this is pretty good. Top pair, we rate to have the best hand most of the time. And when we check, so often everybody gets to see the turn card, and then we often fall behind.
Yep, those are all good points. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, me too. All right. Trev Fishbein says, what are the hands he could be bluffing with? And in this case, he is, of course, Zygmunt
on the river.
On the river, right when he shoves.
Yeah.
Check shoves. 10-8 of spades, Ace-X of spades, Jack-10 of spades. All of his other ace big kicker cards, small and big pairs. Set of 3s counterfeited by the river. That was an interesting one. And are his value raising hands maybe a 7x suited and any 9? There are a lot of bluffs here. History is a telling feature of this hand.
I don't know if there are so many bluffs here. I mean, it's tough to get here with a bluff and then actually check, hoping that Dwan bets so you can bluff. And at the same time, you're hoping that Dwan bets a non-full house hand for marginal value, I guess. You're hoping somehow Dwan has 8s here and he's going to bet. That's tough to get there.
The other thing is this. Someone else wrote in the comments as well that saying, like, could he have a 7? He really can't. No. He's not going to check raise a 7 after Dwan raised the turn. 7 is now bluff catching against top full house.
Right.
Now, it's probably going to call because it's the best possible bluff catcher we can have, and it's a very strong hand. But there's no way he's check raising a 7.
No.
I mean, look, Dwan folded 7s full. Now, that's kind of amazing.
It was an amazing fold.
But Dwan would certainly strongly consider folding everything else. Everything else is a massive hero call. 7s full is still a hero call, but less so of one.
By the way, we think a lot of the time if Zygmunt had some of the hands that you were mentioning, the ace-high hands, the ace-high flush draws, that's a call. It's not a check raise.
Right.
He's heroing Tom then because Tom raised the turn, instantly polarizing himself. So ace-high doesn't really have any value for moving in at all. It's more of a call.
Right.
Yeah. Finally, Martin Jacobson played a lot of hands on the way to winning $10 million in 2014 as the World Series of Poker champion. We said this was his toughest spot, and maybe it was.
Maybe not.
We didn't watch all of the hands in succession or anything, but we said it was the toughest spot. Check it out for yourself and make your own judgment.
Yeah, I mean, we have to have good titles. So
right.
What do you want from us? All right, Excalibur. Excalibur.
Yeah,
his name is Excalibur.
That's cool.
That's his YouTube name. He's a frequent commenter.
I didn't know there was an L in there.
Yeah, there always has been.
Oh.
And I've always said it. Anyway, just pointing it out.
He's lying.
So he says something, or she, by the way, says something that a lot of people echoed in the comments. So let's get to it. Hey guys, there are some hands Stevenson could have that you missed. So Stevenson might be bluffing with his name.
Okay.
On the button, he could also have heart combo draws that picked up additional equity on the turn. If he's not folding spade draws on the turn, as per your analysis, then neither would he fold heart combo draws. Therefore, he could have 4-5, deuce-5, 5-7, 7-8, 7-9, 8-9 of hearts, which are all straight draws on the flop that picked up a heart draw on the turn as well. Some other people also speculated he could have hands like ace-king of hearts. I would expect him to re-raise a hand that strong.
You would expect
but
that.
Maybe you could have overcards that are hearts of some sort. Maybe like king jack of hearts, I guess, would be a hand.
I guess. I mean, it's a similar situation to the king queen with 1 spade because he does have the overs with the back door. Right. So fair enough.
Yeah.
So I guess, we missed the hearts as far as bluff combos. They seem a lot more rare, though.
Well, there aren't very many of them either, right? I mean, it's just a few. That's like everyone we named, there's only 1 combo of each of them.
Yeah.
Right? But you didn't think that he could necessarily have gut shots on the flop. It seemed like most people agreed with me that they thought he could have hands like 7-8, 7-9, 8-9.
I feel like it's...
Also, 8-9 becomes a double gutter on the turn, by the way, which we did not talk about or realize.
That's fair. He possibly could. I still don't really think he's going to have it that frequently.
I think he can have it.
It's fine. Everybody has different opinions.
It's not fine. Someone's right. Someone's wrong.
Okay. All right. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah. Nick Dashanu says, do you think you can jam after tanking for 6 minutes? Long tanks are pretty much always call fold spots, but it'd be interesting to see a long tank then a raise. Opponent would be extremely confused.
Jacobson we're talking about here, of course. That's interesting. That is pretty interesting. Okay, so if we're jamming, what is our plan? What are we trying to get to fold if we jam? That's the real question.
That is a great question. It would have to be a 10.
Yeah, we would have to expect Stevenson to bet a 10 on the river, which we ruled out.
We don't think he could do that.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe he bets ace-10 specifically, but probably he doesn't bet 10s. I guess he doesn't.
I think he's probably going to check it back because all the hands that are stronger, except the ones that have a queen in them or a full houses, are probably going to check.
So if he doesn't bet a 10, he's not going to bet 9s. So we're trying to fold out a queen and bluffs then. So we're beating all the bluffs, and it's going to be really hard to fold out a queen. And if he has a slow played set, that's not going to fold.
I mean, Stevenson isn't going to love it if he has queen. Actually, king queen is good enough, but even queen jack and gets shoved on. But he is probably going to find a call ultimately.
It is an insane ICM spot, to be fair.
It is.
So this might be one spot where that would work, but it would have to be such a high-level play that Jacobson was actually targeting trips.
I mean, in no way Jacobson wants to do that because Jacobson thinks it's very rare for him to have trips in the first place.
Right.
But I want to get back to the question at hand, which is slightly different than what we're answering, which is not should he jam or what would happen if he jammed, but can you tank for 6 minutes and then jam?
That's a cool question, too.
Yeah. I think the answer is yes.
I think you can, and I think in a way it looks even stronger.
Right. It looks like, oh my God. Basically what happens is you're the opponent, right? We're sitting in Stevenson's seat, and we're feeling great. We're feeling great for the whole 6 minutes. We're sure we're ahead. But the moment the action shows us we might not be ahead, we have to reevaluate everything. So we're feeling good, and then we suddenly don't feel good because he just moved in, and now we have to ask ourselves, well, was he acting this whole time?
what I would actually think is not was he acting, but he was tanking thinking, is it valuable to move in with flopped bottom set here?
Huh.
Like, is that just a disaster to move in? Am I going to fold out trips if I move in with flop bottom set here? Because if I am, I can't do it.
Right.
So that might be it.
Yeah, I actually one time tanked with top set when actually no, the guy moved in on me. Sorry, I raised and he moved in. It's not the same. Never mind.
Cool story. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, now you know. You love story time, right?
Yeah, that was a great story.
Right. Well,
one time Jonathan had a set.
And I thought about it and I called.
Oh, okay.
I won. I won the hand.
Congratulations.
All right, we'll see you next week.